Howdy, howdy. This is Strider.
And this is Nin.
And this is Gakujin no Sensei. It's actually sent to me by the producer himself, or herself. I'm going to guess a himself. I could be wrong about that. You reckon a himself?
Oh, it could be a himself.
Himself,
yeah,
I'm going to reckon. And anyway, it's basically, we love visual novels, and we had such a fun time with
Doki Doki.
Doki Doki.
Or
We're going
Doki
to try
Doki,
this.
Whichever one it was.
Yeah, Doki Doki Literature. So, what are we going to call ourselves? Nosh?
Why not?
Nosh it is.
Let's go down the same path here.
Yeah, we are, and I wish I could actually see what's on the screen.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is where my life has led me. Less than a year ago, my life was great. I had a girlfriend. Oh yeah, this guy's a complete dweeb. I had a girlfriend, I had a decent job, everything seemed to be relatively going my way. Of course, life never is that easy, is it?
I'm sorry, but it's just not working out. You and I want different things.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should turn the voices off, because I actually don't want... I want our voices for this. We don't need that voice. Oh, well. Don't say that, Lisa. Don't say that, Lisa. We can make it work, I swear. I just...
Please don't, Nosh. Oh, I just changed my voice again, didn't I?
That's alright.
Please don't, Nosh. It'll only make it harder.
Hey. Boy. Look, I'm sorry, Nosh. We're really in a crunch and your team has been deemed unnecessary. Are you serious? Are you serious? 5 years here and all I get is an arm unnecessary? Look, Nosh, I know this isn't the best situation, but at least you're making a scene. Who cares if I'm making a scene? Nosh, I really don't have to call security. Please, it would be better if you just left. I can't believe I've been reduced to searching for jobs at the mall, and even they don't seem to be hiring. This is ridiculous. I'm a very ridiculous man. My downward spiral fell like it had been going for months, but in reality the breakup, the loss of my job, and all that happened within a week of each other, and because of my girlfriend's expensive tastes, I realised just how little money I had saved up. Rent was coming due, and soon enough I wouldn't be able to afford it. My eyes were drawn towards a coffee chain located next to a prominent bookstore. I let out a sigh. Well, at least for now I can still afford a coffee. I walk over and buy a medium coffee, thanking the smiling clerk who hands it to me and wishing me a nice day. Yeah, funny, a nice day. I casually take a sip as I continue to work through the mall. You know what, I'm just going to make him into an Aussie, because they're really fun to do. I can't believe how many shops in the mall don't even have a help wanted sign. Ugh, had I really fallen so far? Having gone from working in a cushy department in an office to scrounging in the mall for any type of work whatsoever. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. This is not how I imagine I'll be spending my mid-30s. Oh, he's so relatable.
Oh.
I casually take another sip of my coffee, and as I look around the mall, despite the advent of online shopping, it still seems to be bustling even on a weekday. Why doesn't he try Seek?
would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, Seek's pretty good.
Just online
Just saying.
job searching. Suddenly, something catches my eye. A kiosk seems to be set up a little down the way with a banner set up, almost as if it were an information station. I wonder if the lady at the station isn't wearing a very high top. Oh no.
Oh, she's
My attention is drawn to the lady who stands up in front of the kiosk. She appears to be Asian, of what I can't really distinguish. I've always been terrible at guessing people's nationalities. I think I'm Canadian. The lady seems to be attempting to get people's attention with a clipboard. Nearly everyone seems to be walking by her, either giving her a polite refusal or not even reacting to her. Clearly, we need to be a kiosk, because everyone loves the kiosk, and they do so well. Finishing up the remnants of my coffee, I throw the empty cup into the garbage. Yeah, what the hell, I'm not doing anything. I shrugged to no one in particular as I make my way over. Who talks like this? She's probably asking for a signature or for a petition, or with any luck, maybe she's trying to do paid surveys or something. See, the problem is most of the time when you get people like these in malls, they're asking you to sign up for a monthly fee to some
sponsorship.
You can't even give them some money.
Yeah.
They'll ask you for a monthly fee to the charity, so most people are too uncomfortable to leave it or can't be bothered, so they get this constant income like everything nowadays. I pass through the bustling crowd of shoppers and walk over towards a woman. At first she doesn't see my approach. You're always scouring the crowd for someone to speak with. Well, how'd you not see this fella? Finally, as I get within 5 feet, I make a noise. She's not very good at her job.
Oh, no.
Seemingly, you can't not sneak by these people.
I know.
Like, you try.
They're always looking at you. They're always seeking you out. They're doing these ones.
And the second you give them eye contact, hey, can I ask you something?
Can I ask you something?
Can I ask you something?
And they're actually literally standing in front of you. They're like, hey.
And it's like, I just say to them, have a nice day. The last guy I said, have a nice day, he said, well, it's actually night. As though he'd said something incredibly smart. And I'm like, well, have a nice night. I guess you showed me. Seemingly hearing me, she turns around. Oh, he's a smart ass, yeah. Immediately upon me seeing me looking at her, a large smile crosses her face. Hey, can I ask you something?
Oh, hello there. Very nice to meet you.
Hi. She gives me a slight bow while clasping at her clipboard. I merely rub the back of my head with my hand in embarrassment, attempting my best to give a slight bow back. Howdy. Her smile continues as she speaks.
Are you interested?
You haven't told me of anything to be interested in yet. You need to ask me a question and engage me first and give me eye contact. I can tell you this. Oh, it works sales for a bit, so there you go. Her eyes brighten up upon asking me this, almost to the point where I could swear they were replaced by stars. Taking a bit back, I glance between the kiosk and back to her, looking for any clue as to what this setup should be about. With more than a hint of embarrassment, I smile awkwardly. Maybe. What is it exactly? You need to tell me that part. I really shouldn't need to tell you this job. This might be why you haven't managed to have any successful clients today. Luckily for me, the woman seems to be more amused than annoyed, as she giggles in one of her hands before looking back at me. I assure you, buddy, this is very, very recited.
So you merely came over out of curiosity?
I pause for a moment, and before I know it, the words start to fumble out of my mouth. No, you see, I'm jobless. I just lost my job and my girlfriend, and now I'm just drinking coffee at the mall, and I looked over at you, and I figured I was so damn bored that... To be fair, I've done this, man. I don't seek people out. I've been bored at the mall so many times. Well, you see, I was just walking, and you looked to be trying to get people's attention, but you didn't seem to be having, well, luck. But that doesn't mean that you weren't earlier. They all knew better. I didn't. The longer I went on, the less and less I could bear to look her in the... Why? I pet her off at the end and leave to an awkward silence that hangs in the air. What kiosk person would let you talk for this long? This is like a psychologist. No kiosk, but they always have something to say. They've got to recite off the stuff they're desperately trying to get so they can reach their commission.
Yeah.
This is so not what happens. After a few... Why don't you read for a bit, love?
After a few moments, I dare to turn my eyes back to her, who, to my surprise, is smiling warmly.
What, do you think she'd be smiling coldly? You're not going to buy something for her if she's telling you to F off.
You have a very kind heart.
So I'll do the lines that are actually him, this twit talking, and you can do the kiosk woman and the narration. Okay.
She says simply, a genuineness eking through the simple words.
Oh, I haven't used genuineness in years. That's not a good word. It's genuine. I've been convinced so many times on the fact that I used that word so much.
This catches me so off guard that I blush slightly.
We'll get to the point, please. I remember there was a point where we don't even know what she's selling yet.
I know.
G'day.
Another short silence passes before I speak again.
So, what is this exactly?
As if breaking out of a trance, the lady lets out a surprised noise.
She's so bad at her job.
Oh, right. We are in the step.
Engu step.
Engu stepped.
To be fair, that's probably wrong. I'll raise my eyebrow.
I raise my eyebrow.
Engu step?
The lady nods. Basically,
No, I didn't go to freaking.
my default.
You go to your default moniker.
No, I want to do the other. Basically, we're an intellectual teaching company that is located out of Japan. Tell me, do you have a bachelor's degree?
No, I'm hopeless at everything. Oh wait, really? He does? Yeah, but it's not in teaching. It's
Seemingly relieved, she cuts me off.
Finally, she's doing it. You cut people off when they're talking. Once you get a response, you can sell them your garbage.
Yeah. That's perfectly alright. As long as you have a bachelor's, it really doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter in what.
Oh,
I look at her as if she has 3 heads.
why? What does that mean? How do you look at some? I guess
Eh,
I can't
Yeah.
picture that.
yeah.
So you're saying that you teach? I don't need a teaching degree or a certificate.
That's right.
Why take anyone?
To be fair, you wouldn't really be the main teacher per se. You'd be an assistant language teacher. I cross my arms, showing my confusion.
And what's the difference?
Well, you wouldn't be grading tests or anything like that. You'd just be helping reinforce the students' English they already know.
Very convenient. So it's for English. Wait, no, not now. I'm talking like Monica.
Monica.
So it's for English, eh?
I think to myself for a moment. Me, an English teacher. I want to laugh,
Ha ha ha.
but I also don't want to offend the lady in front of me.
You know what? I'm going to turn him into a pirate just for the fun of it. I'm not sure I'd be the best option for an English teacher. I mean, I've never.
Before I can continue, though, she cuts me off. Oh, that's not a problem. Many of our best teachers have come completely from non-teaching backgrounds.
We don't have very high standards.
We
you
don't
see.
have high standards
It's
at
pretty
all.
much as long as you don't shoot the kids, shoot the students, you're fine.
Yeah. Wow, she really was doing the hard sell.
She's really not. So, laddie, do you have a business card or a website? Dar.
The woman seems to let out a small sigh as she places a smile once again on her face. Of course! She walks over to her kiosk for a moment, only to come back holding a business card.
I feel like in Doki Doki we would have seen like 3 murders by
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I don't believe we've been properly introduced. My name is Yuriko.
Ah, yes, I'm Nush, captain of this ship here.
She continues to smile at me. That's a lovely name.
Oh, now you're doing the hard selling me, laddie.
Ah, I find myself blushing
She said
again.
you have a nice...
To cut off the awkwardness, I keep the conversation up.
Oh, this is so cringe. Oh. So, laddie, nice to meet ya.
Smooth, Nosh. Real smooth.
Don't I know it? So you're saying that at this job, you say it's located out of Japan? I let out a soft chuckle. So what? Would I have to pack up my stuff and move to Japan? No, you'd commute there every day. Of course you'd bloody... God.
Essentially,
Ha ha ha! That's... Wait, really?
of course, you'd be teaching in a Japanese school after all.
Seriously?
Oh, but then again, I don't want to be presumptuous, but you probably have a wife or children, correct?
Really?
So it might not be an option.
Do I look like I have a wife and children or any prospects for the future? I shake my head and say you're a silly goose. None. I have no prospects to speak of.
Ah, well that certainly would make it easier.
Yeah. First time I've ever heard someone say being by themselves was a good thing. I don't agree with that. As if... You mind if I take over for a
There you
bit?
go for it.
As if sensing my doubt, she speaks again.
I know taking a move to another country is a big deal, but it's also very rewarding. We would love it if you could at least just thought about it.
Just think about it, not just thoughts.
Yeah. We obviously don't need an answer now. If you have any questions though, please feel free to call me at that number.
She gestures to the business card I'm still holding in my hand. Arr. Right. Thank you, my lady. Seeing as she basically hijacked... No, she didn't. She was the most passive merchant or seller I have ever seen. It was nearly impossible to get... No, it wasn't. She had long silences of her not saying a thing. She literally went into like a quiet trance where you had to jolt her out. She didn't even see you approach. You had to clear your throat.
Yeah.
She should have been jumping all over you the second you got within 5 meters, like any kiosk. I'm sorry, this is so wrong. Well, I guess, that's what people are here for. If there is anyone actually watching this video at this point, they're probably just here to hear us be ourselves. Seeing as she basically did jack all, it was nearly impossible to get a word in edgewise. That lady was a pretty damn good saleswoman. No, she wasn't. She was horrible. I'll think about it.
That's all we ask. It's been wonderful meeting you, and I hope to see you in the future.
I'm not complaining because I got this for free, and I'm very grateful and honored to have got it. But wow, it's not great writing. I'm sure maybe it'll get better. Who knows? She bows again. Right, you two. This is such an organic conversation. I give a terribly awkward half bow. You already did that earlier. And with that, she turns back her attention now on other people wandering the mall. Thank God this conversation of awkwardness is over. I take a few steps away before I glance at the business card one more time before shaking my head and shoving it in my pocket. Ha! Me, an English teacher. Okay, sure, let's do it, let's go. I let out an exasperated sigh and then continue on my journey to mall employment. After what seems like an eternity, I managed to get back to my pirate ship. Arr! Oh, my everything. I say as if I were an old man. I am a captain of this ship, so I am an old captain. To be fair, I scoured one of the largest malls in America. So we haven't actually established where he is yet. So, okay, he's in America, because all the animation makes me think Japan. But
Yeah.
largest malls in America for over 8 hours. I think I'm allowed to be exhausted. But we should have established that earlier in the story. Like, where are we? And despite that, not a single person was hiring. Well, this is just me at 17.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I
Yeah.
scoured so many malls.
Me too. I think that's a rite of passage in a way, isn't it?
Well, you go in there because you're told you have a better chance if you go in, ask for the manager, ask if they're looking for work, give a resume. I've had a handful of resumes in a folder so many times.
Yep, me too. Certainly did that when I was, 15, 16, 17, just walking through the mall.
I did it pretty much till 20.
Yeah.
Not a single person's hiring. I say no to no one in particular. Why do you... I flop out on the bed as unceremoniously as I lay on my arm on my forehead. Arr. It seems that over the past few weeks, I've been slowly lowering my standards on what job I will take. Well, that happens. First, it was only jobs in my field, then it was jobs of equal pay rates now. Well, now it's jobs in the damn mall. What do you got against the mall, buddy?
What's wrong with the mall?
Oh, how the mediocre have fallen. Well, at least he's honest. I move my arm away from my forehead. Can you get over yourself and just get on with the story? God. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. It's kind of annoying because every time I right-click, it goes to the menu, which I guess is useful, but I don't know. I haven't had a graphic novel that's done that before, so you just do this all the time. I fish around with my phone before finally reaching my prize. Yanking it free, A small piece of paper comes with it. My attention is drawn to the paper. Oh, it's the business card from that lady. Have I become Irish suddenly for no apparent reason? What was her name? A moment later, her name comes to mind, laddie. Right, Yuriko. I scrutinized the card, looking at every piece of information. On the bottom was a website URL. You better take over, darling.
Using my free hand, I searched for the website on my phone. Looking over it, the company seems to be pretty legit. Been around for 25 years, blah, blah, blah. I scroll through the pages. In it are pictures of people in suits in front of a classroom, smiling and laughing. I mean, it doesn't look like a terrible job. But do I really even want to consider leaving the country just for a job?
It's such agonizing detail. Like, start him in the job or something. Say, this is my first day on the job. I just moved after I lost. Even give like a 2 weeks later where we see him break up with his girl. Don't go the entire process of him going to the mall, getting the resume. Why don't you tell us about some of his failed resume? Like, then looking at the card, looking at the pictures. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah. Right.
Anyway.
Yes. Anything to get us out of this situation. I mean, it's not like I'm going to get the job or anything, but what the hell? It seriously couldn't hurt to just apply. I pick myself up off the bed and head over towards my computer. I boot up the computer and make my way over to the website. I pull up my resume, giving it a quick once-over before I attach it to the website's application. They say some general questions on the application, such as name, location, and then some weird ones like, do you have a visible tattoo? That's not weird, that's military. Either way, I'm about 15 minutes and I'm finished it. I hesitate only for a moment before hitting the send button. Why don't you tell us how you got on your left foot and your right foot to walk to the bathroom next? As if I did what required in some sort of large effort. I stretch and put my hands behind my head, leaning back in my chair. He spent a whole 15 minutes doing an application which he is inevitably going to get. Oh, I feel for this guy. The poor guy. What was he thinking? I mean, when you instantly get a job that you put 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's not like you spend hours and hours and hours on websites on Seek looking job after job, agency after agency.
No.
So, Japan, I let out a yawn, interrupting my thoughts. Oh man, I'm exhausted. I pull myself forward, crossing my arms in front of me as I lay my head on them, using them. All this detail, using them as a pillow. It's like, I can't even picture it in my head. I kind of see. I just need a second to rest. If there was anything I learned from writing a novel, it's to get to the goddamn point. It's like, I just need a second to rest. I'll get ready to head for bed in just a... I feel my eyelids start to close even as my words start to slow down. I wonder if I'll have dreams of... No, that would be too interesting. I groggily open my eyes. You want to take over, love? Oh, God damn it.
Wrong one.
Oh.
I
I
fell asleep at my desk. Jeez, I can't remember the last time I did that. I glance over at my clock on the cell phone. It says 3:30 a.m.
I like it.
As I'm about to turn off the cell phone, one other thing catches my eye. An email notification. Probably another spam email.
I wonder if it's a spam email.
Oh.
You better give us full detail. Does he go into his menu and click the inbox?
I say to myself with a sigh.
There was no established that he was saying that to himself. It sounded like he thought it.
But I open it out of habit. To my surprise, I see the word EnguStep on the receiving email address.
Now they need to process his application.
Yeah. Wow. They sure rejected me fast. I mumble to myself as I
Stop
open the
talking
email,
to yourself.
still
No.
half awake.
Even I don't talk to myself this much.
The email reads as follows.
Couldn't he just think it?
Thank you so much for your interest in teaching abroad. We are happy to inform you that our initial assessment deems you to be a qualified candidate. We would very much like for you to come in for an interview as well as a mock lesson. We have enclosed all the rules and guidelines for your lesson. We look forward to seeing you at the interview. The email ends there. For a moment, the email doesn't seem to process. Finally, the words filter to my brain. Wait, they're seriously interested? I run my hand through my hair. Great. Now I have to do a mock lesson, whatever the hell that is. This time I really do turn off the phone as I get off my chair.
You should have
and
capitalized that
climb-
hell, honey.
And climb over to my bed.
Like, if you don't capitalize the hell, no one will look at it. That word. Oh.
As I slide beneath the covers, I let myself have a soft chuckle.
This is so awkward.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, me, an English teacher. That'll be the day.
I think this to myself as I once again let sleep overtake me.
Well, at least he talked. Oh, at least he didn't talk to himself.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, honey. That was just the intro. God. What do you think so far?
I don't know. What are you thinking? I think you're finding it very tedious.
It's so cringe in the right. It's so tedious and I don't know. I kind of want to see more, but it requires them to actually move beyond the mall in his room in like a 2-hour candidate. I'm sorry, that's just... She kind of stands out a little bit.
She's got creepy eyes.
I think she's got something to show there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you animate wonderfully. It's very impressive. It's lovely, but can we see some story behind these characters? I'm not really going to care unless you get me gripped to these characters. Give me some vulnerability and weakness and something. Can we move forward? Thank you. I just clicked it.
I can't believe it. Somehow I ended up in Japan.
Oh, thank God. I thought we were going to do the flight too.
Seriously, how the hell did this even happen?
Well, you put in the application. No.
The past few months went by in a blur. It felt like just yesterday I was talking to that lovely lady in the mall, and now I'm actually in another country. I didn't think for a minute after that mock class presentation that they would want me, but, well, here I am.
We have very low standards.
And it wasn't like any other job was just beating down my door. Hell, I had to take out another loan just to afford my month off of housing here. But still, I have a job. That's something, right?
At least he has a job.
Yeah. Oh, right. Speaking of which, I should probably let my job know that I have arrived here okay.
I'm probably too mean on games. Like, I'm a harsh critic. I will say that. If the actual maker's watching, I apologize, I am a harsh critic. This is certainly not attack on you as a person. Purely just some of the writing needs to be trimmed up a bit.
I pull out my phone and dial the number they gave me.
That was important information right there.
There's no response at the other end. In fact, it doesn't even make any ringing sound. Confused, I look at the phone itself. No bars.
Well, yeah.
Suddenly, I feel like hitting myself in the head.
It's funny, that's the exact same feeling I've had for you ever since I met you.
Right, that's you.
Right, mate, of course. There wouldn't be any service around here. I'm in another country.
Placing the phone back in my pocket, I look around for a payphone. Luckily for me, they seem to have a lot more payphones than they have in America. After fishing some yen out of my pocket, I got some currency converted before coming over. I walk over to a payphone and make a call to the number on the card.
Hello, yes, it's Nosh. Yes, I'm here in Japan. Right, I'll be there tomorrow.
The man on the other end basically welcomes me to Japan and tells me that the first day of introductions will be tomorrow in a town quite a ways away.
So make sure this is still recording. Yeah, cool.
Apparently, by bullet train it'll take about 3 hours. Bullet train, huh?
I think to myself,
I did some research before coming and found out that these things can reach over 200 miles per hour.
certainly can.
Yeah. That's a hell of a lot faster than our trains
Oh,
in
good,
America.
You capitalized it. That means people will read it.
Yeah. I head towards the baggage retrieval area and look for my bags.
But they were stolen.
I breathe an immense sigh of relief upon seeing my large black bag on the turnstile.
Gone a bit Yuri there, darling.
A mild Yuri.
It's a little
It's
hint
mild,
of Yuri.
It's mild Yuri.
It's like, it's 40% Yuri, 10% pirate, and the other 50% you.
I had no idea what I would have done if I'd lost that. It was basically everything I have left. Anything that was too large to bring along, I had either sold or donated.
Who cares?
And of course, I was renting the apartment.
Who cares about the tiny details of whether you rented the apartment and what happened? We just
Everybody cares, darling.
Do we? Do we really? Like, could we not have just got... We care about the interpersonal relationships you establish and the people you meet. We don't get relating, oh, you sold your... I was wondering about that. If you hadn't told me you sold all your furniture, I would have just wondered. I would have said, I like this game until I saw he didn't tell us what happened to his furniture. Like, God.
It kind of actually made me feel like a hobo. A suit-wearing hobo.
I see a lot of those.
Now that I have my luggage, there's only one thing left to do. And that is to get my ticket for the bullet train.
Oh, good.
There's only one problem. I don't speak a word of Japanese.
Yeah?
The strange thing was, I told them this several times during the interview process, and they told me it wasn't an issue.
I actually remember back in the day they had jobs like this, like where you could teach English in like Japan and that sort of stuff. And I did have one friend who actually did it.
I assumed they meant for the job, but in terms of getting around, it might pose a problem. Luckily for me, the Tokyo airport seems to have a lot of English posted all around.
Yeah, they love the tourists.
Just in case though, I pull out my little Japanese phrase book I purchased at the bookstore at the mall.
Anata wa sugoku kirei.
Following the signs, I eventually make it to what appears to be a train station ticket window.
Toilet wa doku desu ka?
I see a younger looking man at the desk. I flip through my fate phrase book.
Konnichiwa, anata baka.
I clear my throat.
Suimasen, sorry. Eigo o hashinimata.
Excuse me, do you speak any English?
Yeah?
I'm probably mispronouncing this so badly that I must be making this poor guy shudder. To my surprise, though, he merely smiles.
No, we meet a lot of idiots like you. Yes, sir, I do speak English. What am I going to make him sound like? What about a drill sergeant? Yes, sir, I do speak English.
He says this with a bit of an accent, but far better than anything I could do in Japanese.
Oh, thank God, mate. I'm sorry if I butchered that. It's fine, sir. Well, it wasn't that bad. First time in Japan.
I scratch the back of my head.
Is it that obvious, mate? Oh, I apologise. I meant no offence, Private. Huh? Oh, none taken, mate. Now I feel bad. But I would like to get a ticket to,
I check the piece of paper that I printed out with the address.
It's hard to establish because they're
It
not
is,
giving him
yeah.
a stranger or anything like that.
Rather than butcher the name, I figure it would just be easier to show him the paper.
Here you go, mate.
I say as I push the paper over to him. He looks over at the paper for a moment before smiling again.
These people smile a lot, don't
I
they?
know.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
He checks the computer for a moment.
Private, it seems there's only one train left leaving here today. It leaves in 30 minutes. 30 minutes o'clock. 30 minutes, mate? And I assume the next train doesn't leave until morning. That is correct, Private.
Damn, I was hoping to catch an overnight train to avoid having to stay in a hotel tonight. But I guess it can't be helped.
Sure, mate, that's fine. You do that.
I give him a small smile as I pay for my tickets.
We all smile. Smile,
We
smile,
smile.
smile. Why doesn't someone frown? Why
We
doesn't
smile.
someone gesture? Why doesn't someone wave or something?
Thanking him, I take it as well as my luggage and head for the train station.
Oh, I'll miss my private voice.
Following the signs, I quickly enough arrive at... That doesn't make sense. I quickly enough arrive at the station. I check the sign, which thankfully was in English. Pulling my suitcases along, I make my way into the train car and sit down, letting out an audible exhale as I do.
That is too long sentence, Clanky. Too long. You've got to shorten your sentence. Why wear pants? Creepy. Sorry.
Phew, made it. According to the ticket seller, the trip itself is indeed about 3 hours. Which means I have nothing to do but sit here and wait.
Could you up the Yuri by 10%? Just go a little bit more. Just for funsies for a bit.
I pull out the book I had been reading earlier on the airplane. I only had a few chapters left, so I figure I might as well finish it.
Do you like books?
Do you like books?
I do like knives,
I
though.
do like knives, though. I seem to get lost in the story as the scenery passes around me. The barely audible rumbling of the train in the background.
Does that hurt your voice?
Yes.
Oh, you don't have to do it anymore.
That's okay. I'm shaken out of my senses by the sound of the train stopping. Turning my head towards the phone, I can see that 3 hours has indeed passed me by.
That's passed us by, too, just at you establishing the story.
Muttering a quick curse under my breath, I grab my suitcases and make a beeline for the exit of the train.
For you, mate. I'll let myself breathe again.
I let myself breathe again.
That was close.
Clutching my bags, I step off the platform and into the street.
Oh, he's nearly at the thing.
Then, as I stand there, I realize another problem.
Another problem. Oh, wait a minute. Is there a hotel around here?
I quietly ask myself.
Very, very important they establish that. You know.
Yeah. The first thing I notice as I look around is that there's a lot less English everywhere. It seems to be limited to street signs as well as some buildings. I feel a slight sense of panic set in.
Okay, calm down, Nosh, calm down. I told you, calm down. There's just got to be something sort of brochure or something.
Nope, no such luck.
Great. Guess this means I'm walking.
I pick up my 2 heavy suitcases and begin to wander around town.
A drink, darling?
No. The gods must be smiling on me or something, because only after 5 minutes of walking...
Now, see, of course the gods are smiling on you, because everyone in this game is smiling. Everyone just smile.
Yeah. I come across what has to be a hotel. Either
they're going to have a room, or hopefully they'll know who will.
As I make my way into the hotel's entrance, I am greeted by an older lady with a smile.
How would I take over narration for a bit to give your voice a break? And as much as I like it, because I feel like I'm killing your vocal
No,
cords.
it's actually fine.
Oh, you're fine?
Yeah.
Konbanwa, o genki desu ka? Ah, ya. Hai, genki desu. Domo.
I inwardly cringe as I have no idea what she's saying.
Could you have at least opened up Japanese for dummies or something? Just
Yeah.
like very basics?
Yeah.
That would require work.
I try to remember the words from earlier. Unfortunately, I can only remember one.
Konnichiwa. Ego? 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 Ah, Ishun. Okay, I actually don't know what Ishun is. Ishun. I can't remember that one.
She puts up her hand as if to tell me to wait. She quickly walks out to the back. Within a few moments, however, a young girl comes in. She can't be more than 15. Hello, sorry. I didn't speak much English. How help? Despite her English being broken, I can't very well judge her on it, considering my lack of any Japanese.
Yeah, at least she learned something. Oh, no, it's okay.
I stop for a minute as I realize I should probably slow down as to not overwhelm
You
her.
had so many words there. You gotta slow down. No, it's okay, yeah. I need a room. How much?
The girl seems to be listening intently before nodding. Yeah, we have a room. 10,000 yen. I try to remember the currency conversion in my head. That's about a little less than $100 for a night. About what I expected. I nod.
That is okay.
The girl seems relieved that I am not overwhelming her with English and smiles at me.
She smiled at you. I've never seen someone do that before. In the story, that's such a bizarre thing to do.
That good. Passport, please. I am taken
off.
aback for a moment, but soon shake it off.
Oh my.
That has to be some Japanese custom.
It just goes. We're not even in teaching yet. We haven't met any of the characters they put in the intro. What are we, an hour in? How far are we in? Look, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, 41 minutes in. We're not even in the freaking teaching. It's got a chalk. I should be seeing what.
Shrugging, I hand her 10,000 yen note and my passport.
Like, you establish that when you've got like 500 games in your Steam library, unless you hook the player within like 10, 20, I'd go 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you're probably not going to get repeat viewings. Like, it just, Doki hooks the person by having an interesting set of characters. This is just, none of these characters we are going to see again, except this boring as behind guy. Just,
She bows and leaves for a moment before coming back.
lucky they told us.
Thank you, room 203.
Now, why doesn't he just talk to himself in his room for a while? Why don't you describe the room to us?
She says the numbers individually instead of trying to say 203.
Oh.
Grabbing my suitcases, I take the elevator located at the back of the lobby.
Oh, good.
Getting off at the second floor, I soon find my room.
Do you want to just double check the numbers for us?
Opening the door,
Oh, good, you
I
established.
step inside and immediately drop off my suitcases.
I like how they told us they were opening the door.
Yeah.
I assumed he was going to walk through the door.
Yeah, because it's completely transparent
Oh,
and
yeah,
you can sort
absolutely,
of
you know.
totally
He was
absorb
just gonna,
yourself
like,
in the door.
matrix his way through
yeah,
it.
Yeah. I shake my hands to get the feeling back in them. I didn't exactly walk a long way, but when you carry your entire life in 2 suitcases, they get pretty heavy.
I'm taking over to speed this up. This is lovely, honey. But flopping down on the bed, I begin to collect my thoughts for a moment. What time would it be get back home right now? I glanced on the clock to my right. It's about 6 p.m. now, so to make it about 5 a.m. in America. Strangely enough, I don't really feel super tired, obviously because I took a nap on the plane. Still though, I'm dreading the time when Mr. Jetlag will rear his ugly head. Until then, however, I should I'll probably do something. Do anything. Something to make this story even slightly more interesting. After all, I can't just sit in this hotel room. Are you sure you can't sit in for a few hours? You're happy to tell us about, what the floor tiles are like and how many floor tiles there are. True, the sun has begun to set, but I couldn't help but notice the floor cracks, They were so fascinating. But I came all the way to another country. I should probably at least try to take in a short stroll around the area. I'm going to be a pirate. because I haven't eaten something or had a drink since the plane. Maybe there's something around here. I gather my small messenger bag and make my way to the lobby. As I step out of the elevator, I notice the elderly woman is back in her post. Seeing me exit, she gives me a smile. She gave me a large smile.
She gave me a large smile.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They've never done that before.
Oh.
Never.
Oh.
I give him a head. It's a her. That is quite clearly a her. Why did you give him a no. This is bad. I'm sorry, this is quite bad. I struggle to remember the word arigato because I'm a twerp who didn't even bother to look on the plane at the basic Japanese language. Arigato. Oh, lucky that translated that for us. The only person who's going to open this is going to be a Japanese weeboo. Do you think we don't know what arigato means? Why not arigato gozaimasen? I say incredibly awkwardly, do dashimashite. She smiles wider. Oh my god, honey. This is just such groundbreaking writing. I'm sorry, am I overdoing it? Monday night. I'm sorry, I took it over your post.
No, you're fine.
Monday night, no problem. I force a smile and head out. How many... There are other things people could do than smile. My book that I wrote when I was 15 had better writing that was more descriptive than this. And I was 15. Didn't draw this well, though.
No.
This might be harder than I thought. Well, this has definitely been established. Yeah. I say to myself as I imagine all the possible awkward conversations to come, let's see them in great detail. I take the first steps away from the hotel, making a mental note of what this hotel is. Honey, I don't know how much more I can do of this. It just keeps going.
You know what?
We have 50 minutes. Oh, it's a person. Well, at least we get to see night artwork. Do you wanna do her voice? Her green hair comes down from her neck and then goes out in a flip. The thing that also makes me laugh, though, is the one long straight chunk of hair that sticks into a curl. I guess it's called the antenna fetish. I can't remember. Anyway, she seems to be lost in thought. She's writing something on a notebook in her seat. Seeing things get to the point, sensing someone approaching her, she glances up at the waiter and then at me. And now I've jumped into Russian for some reason. As I look her in the eyes, I notice they're a vibrantly bright green. The waiter says something to her in Japanese that I cannot hope to understand. After letting out a very audible sigh, she lets out a hi and waves him away. The waiter bows appreciative and gestures me to sit down. I do so and she hands me a menu. Yeah, that.
Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Honey, I think we can finish this up if you... I don't know.
Yeah, this is bad.
This is terrible.
This is
I'm sorry. I don't even want to post this.
I think I'll post... I'm going to post it just to justify... Sorry, I'm going to post this... If anyone is still listening, I'm going to post this just to justify the fact that I did look at his game, and honestly, I want to give some constructive feedback. Anyone who can talk this much up their own ass. I didn't talk like this when I was 15. This is so up his ass. God, so up his ass it is. No, I'm sorry. That's mean. Your writing, I believe, needs a little bit of improvement, and the punctuation, and
I think just attention to detail.
No. Less attention to detail.
Well, attention to detail in the sense that it's too much fucking detail.
You have given...
I'm sorry.
We are 50 minutes in, and you have given detail on so many tiny things that it took us 30 minutes to reach the intro of your game. In the age of YouTube and streamers, like, it's fine to write a story, but even in a book, you've got to engage people. I know nothing. But as I would say if I was doing a creepypasta reading, I wish you luck in the future. I hope you keep writing and keep improving.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
my friend Dennis would say.
Yeah.
I'm going to wish you luck and say best of luck in the future. See ya.
Bye.